Today happens to be the birthday of Shri Krishnanunni, and we have been having this lecture on his birthday for the last 3 years. And we are very lucky to have Dr. Mohabey for today's lecture about the dinosaurs and all these things. I have heard him earlier, but I feel like listening to him any number of times. Such, first thing is the topic is such, and then the speaker is also equally good. So, Dr. Mohabey doesn't need much of introduction because anybody talking about dinosaurs in India will know Dr. Mohabey. I happen to know Dr. Yadagiri. He was my junior in college, and also in Hyderabad he was there. Basically, he was a geophysicist and a turned paleontologist. So, Amanpalli dinosaurs, he was the man who located the Amanpalli dinosaurs, and they have reconstructed a dinosaur in the Birla Museum here as such. So, since then, I was knowing about dinosaurs, and then subsequently about Mohabey Saab, and then his effort in Gujarat, in Madhya Pradesh, and so many places. And we are lucky to have him today for this talk. I requested him to make it semi-popular, though we are most of us geologists, but to make it more interesting for non-geologists also. I request Dr. Mohabey to take the floor.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you, Parthaki Saab, Professor Shailesh Naik Saab, my other colleagues. Indeed, it's a
Yeah.
great honor for me to deliver
Okay,
this 11th
I will
Krishnanunni
do it. I will
Memorial
do it.
Lecture. And I'm really excited about it. And I will just like to share my files are here. Yes. Sharing what is- Hello. I'm sorry, sir. I'm just trying to share the file. What's it here?
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Right. Okay.
We are sharing. Sir, can you see the screen, sir? My first slide.
Yes, it is clear.
Yes.
Okay, sir. So today I'll be speaking on the dinosaurs in India. That is 67 million years back. That is the latest Cretaceous, sir. The discoveries, diversities, and extinction. And of course, it will be based on the hard evidences, the fossils therein. Now, sir, the dinosaurs are the most fascinating and amazing animal fossils, and they are most prized possession of many of the naturalistic museums all over the world. And so much that in 2020 and even 2022, one of the complete Tyrannosaurus fossils, that is Tyrannosaurus Rex, named Shan, it has been auctioned for a whooping US $331.8 million. So that much is the craze for that. And now I just last week I had a news that this particular stand that is going to be displayed in the Natural History Museum at in Abu Dhabi. So that will remain in Asia, though it has been excavated from Montana, and that includes nearly 300 bones. Now, the history of dinosaurs, it begins in 1824 when William Buckland, for the first time from England Jurassic, he came across some fossils, but that time he was not able to identify them as dinosaurs, and he simply named it as giant lizards. So it was in 1824, and that there how this history of dinosaur begins here. But it was ultimately in 1842 when Richard Owens, he coined the word Dinosauria to include some of the fossils like Megalosaurus, Yalosaurus, Iguanodon. That is all from the Jurassic of England. And till that time, till 1842, we were not really knowing anything about the postures or gaits of this particular very fascinating dinosaur. So it was very speculative. So if we come down to the dinosaurs all over the world, right from the beginning, they appeared sometimes in Triassics, continued to Jurassics, and they continued till and ended somewhere in the Cretaceous. So during Triassic times, when all the continents they were joined together as a supercontinent, all the land masses as they were connected, whatever dinosaurs we get all over the world, whether they are in Eurasia, America or Africa, they are very similar to the level of sister taxons because there was a free exchange of these animals. But as the land started fragmenting during the Middle Jurassic, and this Gondwana land, it started separating from the Laurasia, and then later on in the late Jurassic, when it was completely separated from the Laurasia, we had different types of dinosaurs that habited, and they had their own endemism in different continents, and for that matter, different continents. And during the late Cretaceous times, when India was totally fragmented, even from the Gondwana land, you can say it started taking a flight to the north and northeast, and ultimately to be collided with Eurasia, sometimes at least around 50 million years back. So that time during this flight, when we separated from Gondwana land and severed off our connection from Madagascar and Seychelles, we have their own endemic dinosaurs. We are very close to the Madagascar, Seychelles, but we are entirely different, though we have a Gondwana stamp over there. Now, if you see all over the world today, there are more than 800 non-avian dinosaur species. When I say non-avian dinosaurs, because birds are also considered as avian or aves, or they are called avian dinosaurs. When I say non-avian dinosaurs, so we have over 800 species of these dinosaurs, which are mostly classified as ornithischia dinosaurs and saurochia dinosaurs. Saurochia dinosaurs, they include a giant ferocious theropod, mostly bipedal, and the sauropods, which are mostly quadrupedal and herbivorous dinosaurs, where ornithischia dinosaurs, they were bipedal or even quadrupedal and exclusively herbivores. And there is a basic difference when you look at that. In ornithischia dinosaur, we have a pubis, which points down backwards, whereas in Saurochia, that is for the sauropods and theropods, the pubis bone, it points forwards. So these are the basic difference for the dinosaurs which are known all over the world. Now, when we look at the dinosaurs, especially the titanosaurs, they are basically a difference in, if you look at their hind limbs like a femur or front legs like femurs or sacrum, they are entirely different in different groups of these sauropods like Titanosauria, Matronaria, Neosauropoda, Eurosauropoda, and like that. And that basically helps us in classifying these dinosaurs into different orders, families, and genus, etc. In there, you can see here, we have a Cotosaurus dinosaurs, which is a sauropoda here, that is from Planetapoda very from Jurassic. Now, these dinosaur fossils, as I said, 800 species of dinosaurs, they are basically known by their fossils, which can represent their skeleton, it can represent eggs in nests, it can represent their footprints, and it can represent their coprolites or dung mass. So these are very important. And based on that only, we are able to identify different types of dinosaurs and their habit, their nesting behavior. But in India, we have skeletons, eggs and nests, dungs, but footprints, we are very speculative. We have really no definitive record of any footprint from any of the Mesozoic dinosaurs in India. Now coming, this is, I am just trying to show it for the interest of the student. If you look at the stratigraphy of this, you can see the first vertebrates that appear sometimes in the Devonian as the jaw fishes, sometimes around 443 million years back. And then we have some amphibians that we call the age of the amphibians, then we have the age of the reptiles. And then here it in the Mesozoic, some 251 million years to 65 million years that we start getting the dinosaurs over here. So they ruled exclusively in the Mesozoic from Triassic to the latest Cretaceous, that is around 65, or now it is 66.2 billion years. Now, at the end of the Paleozoic era, and just at the beginning of the Triassic period, the Paleo era ended with a very mass extinction that also wiped out almost 70% of the life on the Earth. And during the Triassic period, when it began, the Mesozoic started, it took nearly 10 million years to recover from the catastrophe of that extinction, and for the time for the recovery of the surviving reptiles that were trying to revive into the new forms. And these new animals or reptiles, they were, or mammals, we were trying to emerge. They were theropsid mammals like reptiles that gave rise finally to tree mammals in the end of the Triassic. And they also included marine reptiles like nothosaurs, ichthyosaurs, and even the flying pterosaurs. That is around 230 million years. So there was a change in total in the world from the end of the Permian to the Triassic period. Coming to the Indian stratigraphy, so we start get the dinosaur fossil, the oldest residues in the Triassic Maliri formation, that is Wackelia malariensis. They we continue, but then there are a big gap in the stratigraphic records. After the Corbett, we get in the Jurassic, we have almost 60 to 70 million years gap. We really don't know what was happening to Indian dinosaurs, how they looked like. Here, what they get in the Nima or sauropod dinosaurs, that is in the lower Cretaceous. But here in the upper Cretaceous, again, it's a gap. What we know only from the Limitas or Intertapians. So we have a big gap, almost here 50 to 60 million years. Over here you can see, and then here also. So as far as the continuity of the history of dinosaur records are concerned, there are just glaring gaps in there, and we really don't know how this dinosaur is in Indian subcontinents or Indian plates. They were evolving. Though we have very good records of them from Gondwana and the latest Cretaceous. Now coming to the dinosaur distributions in India, if you look at that, we have the Gondwanan, as I said, mostly coming from the Triassics, or they are coming from the latest Cretaceous. Here I am trying to show you the most of the Gondwanan record, that is from the Triassics and the Jurassics. It is coming from the Pranita Godavari Valley, that is in parts of the Telangana and Maharashtra here. But in there we get only the dinosaur skeletons, and no dinosaur eggs are recorded. So from the Gondwanan sediments, or for that matter, any pre-Cretaceous sediments. And then if you are coming to the latest Cretaceous dinosaur, that is the Mastictia, they are mostly coming from the limita formations, which is really associated with the Deccan volcanic group of rocks. And then we have they from Kalamedu, from the Arialar group of sediment. Here, if you look at the distribution, we right from the Gujarat into the west, from that Kheda, and we have of course some from Namja, they continues to the east. Almost it's more than 500-600 kilometers. From Gujarat, we enter into the Dhar or to the Bagh, and then we are here, and then further to the east, we are Jabalpur. So these are the best Gujarat, where we are getting Rayuli, Kheda, and then we have that Dhar, Bagh, Malwa area, and then we have Jabalpur. And then we can see, yes, we are coming to south. We have them in Nandongargaon basin. So they are the three best Nandongargaon basins. We have Jabalpur, and then we have where we get the best. And of course, some Jurassic dinosaurs, they are known from Kutch Jurassics, and they are also from Rajasthan here. So this is the distributions of dinosaurs we are getting. Most of the Gondwanan dinosaurs are what we are getting in. Now, when I say India, at that time also, Pakistan was included in the Indian pets. We do have dinosaurs in the Pakistan, and some of them, they are very close, especially our sauropods or titanosauria dinosaurs, which are almost very similar to our titanosaur dinosaurs, which we get in India. For that matter, you can see here that Balochisaurus and Vicari formation, you can see they are very similar to what we are getting in India. So it is very similar. All around you can see part of Indian subcontinent, and then you can see Vicari formation where we are getting then Sindh and Balochistan. So you have at least 4 species of sauropod there in Pakistan, and at least Vicara, Dinda, theropod from there. So while when you consider the dinosaurs in India, or for that matter, Indian subcontinent, we have to also take into consideration the dinosaurs which are occurring there in the pop sandstones or the Sindho-Balochistan. There is a very good work by Sadiq Malkani of Geological Survey of Pakistan, who has been doing a lot there, and many of these collections is there in the GSP. Now, the history of dinosaur finds in India, it begins in 1822 when W.H. Sleeman, a British civil officer, he found a first bone, that is a caudal vertebra, that was eventually identified as dinosaur only after a gap of at least more than 150 years, only in the year 1857, after a gap of 50 years. Now, when Sleeman found his bone in 1828 from the limit of formation of Jabalpur, he was a civil officer, not even a paleontologist. It went through a series of hands, from Spilsbury to James Prinsep to Thomas Oldham in 1816 to Hugh Parker, and finally to Richard Edeker in 1877. That means you see discovered in 1828, but it was identified in 1877, almost after a gap of 50 years, as a dinosaur bones. And Lidecker established the first Titanosaurus in the world, Titanosaurus indicus, from India. But unfortunately, this species Titanosaurus indicus is now considered as invaluable. And this in the background, you see, this is the vertebra. You can see a decaudal vertebra of Titanosaurus indicus, which was found by Sleeman and described by Richard Lidecker. And in the background, you can see the map, that is the Central Province map. That time, 1822, that includes a part of Madhya Pradesh and Maharashtra. And after that, the real golden age of the dinosaurs in India started after 1917, when the Charles Alfred Macleod from British Museum, he arrived in India in 1917, and he carried 2 expeditions, 1917 to 1919, and then 1933 to 1934. So they were the 2 expeditions he came on, the sponsored by Percy Sladen Trust. At that time, his main venture was Jabalpur, where he was trying to explore limit of formations of Chota Shimla, Bada Shimla, and Chew Hills properly in the Jabalpur city itself. And then he eventually also visited Pisdura in Maharashtra, Central India, and Chandrapur district. These are some of the things which you can see. This we are able to get it from the British archives and some geological survey of India, some field diaries archives from there. And here you see some of these collection which he made from Jabalpur during his 2 expeditions, one from Chota Shimla and Bada Shimla in 1917-19. And you can here see, this is from the Chota Shimla. You can see a lower limestone and the green sandstones. And these are articulated associated bones. These are available only in the archives. And this collection, it exists in the Geological Survey of India, Kuruteri Division, or it exists in the Indian Museum galleries, in the GSI galleries in the Indian Museum. And these are some of these things, and you can see that these are the original photographs in 1917 and 19. But when we are trying to leak out the collections, which are mostly given to British British Museum, and later on part of that it was repatriated and restored back. We have no specific information from which spots it came, and it was very challenging for us to know from which spot exactly these fossils were ill date, though we knew it come from Chota Shimla, this horizon and that horizon. But then it is ultimately Geological Survey of India. They took a field season program. It was basically focused on the museum and the field research in the existing collection, which was there in the curatorial in USA and also Indian Museum, where we were trying to curate all the collection, not only the described, but even also the undescribed collection. So that was a big exercise by Geological Survey of India. And then because most of the collection was there in the Britain and American Museum, we had a collaboration with University of Michigan Professor Jeffrey Wilson. And then we did a lot of almost that collaboration was there or 3-5 years, and we came out with a very good results over there. So in the 1917, 17, 19, and then 33, 34, they were the exactly in central province. They were the three areas, Jabalpur and then Pisdura, where Charles Matley, he focused in attention. A large collection was made by him, by both this area, but mostly from the Jabalpur area. Now, if you look at that, it is a very classic map. That is, this map you cannot imagine that time in 1824. Charles Mackay produced it is on 8 inch to 1 mile. You can see this limit of formation where you can see the green Jabalpur clays and the Jabalpur sandstone. We have green sandstone of limit of formations. We have lower limestone Jabalpur formation. We have mottle nodular clay. We have upper limestone. And then we have ultimately covered them with the Teganta. So it's a very classic map. You can see 8 inch to 1 mile. And these are the localities, the Bada Shimla, the Chota Shimla, and the Chuil. And these Bada Shimla and Chota Shimla, it was the main that produced the dinosaurs. And all our seminal knowledge on dinosaurs, for that matter, it comes from this area. Most of the knowledge, it is we owe to the Charles Matley. So many of things it is device, but we have the best collection that comes from this Jabalpur by Matley, and of course, Heads of the Geological Survey of India. Then they came out with a wonderful description from Gujarat. That way, the renaissance of dinosaur research in India. So in India, if you look at that, most of the dinosaur producing locality, because I will be producing mostly on the late Cretaceous locality, they come from Jabalpur. You can see it here, where you get three carnosorbate, we get sauropod bed, and we are get other conglomerate. These are Jabalpur. This is, of course, by Geological Survey of India. Entire, you can see here, 70 kilometers long. And we have, I am telling you, at least we have around 24, 25 dinosaur nest sites. And we have recorded over 18 to 20,000 dinosaur eggs. And they continue from Gujarat. They are continuing to the Bagh Valley through part of the Gujarat and Jhaloi area. And then we have them here in Pusdura. So they are the main three productive. Pisdura in Maharashtra, that is now Central. And then we have Jabalpur, and then we have them in Gujarat. So they are the three more productive localities in India as far as late Cretaceous localities is concerned. When Charles Matley visited India, it was also Burnham Brown, who was from American Museum of Natural History. He was the first to describe in 1900 the Tyrannosaurus rex, which are history from Hellkick Formation of Montana. I was fortunate to visit this zone there to these sections in Hellkick Formation under our ongoing Nation Science Foundation. And it really an opportunity to look at the fantastic section. So this Burnham Brown visited India in 1922. He came by ship from South Africa, where he was trying to explore for some dinosaurs. And when he was coming by ship, he met Leland Brown there on the ship, and they got married when both of them arrived in India. And this Burnham Brown, he explored Bada Shimla in Jabalpur, and he also collected the fossils in that. So all his Barnum Brown's collections, which is of the theropods and the Dharma bones, it is now original. They are there in the American Museum of Natural History. We do not have casts of them, though I have tried to bring some casts of them. So our original fossils collected by Barnum Brown, they are there in 1922. They are there in. Now, the irony is that whatever dinosaur bones we collected from India by Charles Matters, by this Britisher in pre-independence, you see, dinosaur bones excavated from limit of Jabalpur by Matley during these two expeditions, they were all shipped to British Museum Natural History, London. Now there are two shipments, 325 cartons in 1922 and 1925 of GSI K20 and K22 series from Chota Shimla. Now shipment from Bada Shelva excavation and Pisura shipped to BNMNH, London from Calcutta port in May 33 and then in July 1933 from Bombay. We have all the records that is from the BMNH, AMNH, GSI field diaries and later and bills of shipment that we were able to dig when GSI undertook this particular field season program, and we came out very interesting information. So all our collection that was excavated 1917, 1919 and 1932-33, it was shipped to British Museum, Natural History, London. And then you see, but at the same time, you see when it is Shivalik, because in 1828 the first dinosaur bones was found by Sleeman. But at the same time in 1831 to 36, we have a big excavation going on for the Dope Canal that was linked to the river Yamuna. In 1831-36, when that excavation was done for the Dope Canal, there was formidable collections of Indian Shivalik fossils, mammalian fossils, through Asiatic Society of London by James Princeps. That in 1931 to 36. And it is during this time that Proby Catley, he was a botanist, and then the Hughes partner, he was a medicine man. They were posted to this area, and he was a gardener also. And all this collection which was there, and it was through Asiatic Society, which was also sent chest of fossils and this is cartload shipped to British Museum and India House at London and to London Market. And in for this 1831 to 36 collection and 1842, both of these Cotley and Hughes partner, they were awarded Oleston Medal of Geological Society of London for discovery and collecting of Shivalik fossils. Barnanology fossils, we got it back. They are still there in the British Museum of London, or even there is a Faulkner Museum there. So it was a big loss to us. So all our dinosaurs collections and this collection that also collect after 1832, it was exported. And whatever collection was there, it was mostly, it went either to the, some of them when it was restored back to India, it was there in the Indian Museum, Calcutta, some of them in the British Museum History, London, and some of them in History Museum. So all the collection which was excavated, it is housed in these three museums mainly. Now it was a big challenge for us when where all these collections which was there, some collections, if we were going through the archive, it was said and recorded that most of the collection was restored back to India, that was pre-independence to that. And it was very changing because Geological Survey of India, they have 4 galleries there in the invertebrate gallery and the Shivalik galleries where they are maintaining all their dinosaur collection. It's a very vast collection and very challenging for them. At least I'm not there more than 3 lakh collection of dinosaur vertebrates over there. And hats off to Geological Survey of India. In spite of such a vast collection, they are able to categorize them, curate them, and they have put it most of this repository there on their portals. And it has been systematic. Here you can see when we went there in 2006, during that, many of these fossils, they were hanging on the walls, and we were not knowing many of these fossils, they were in the pieces, they were not. And not up to that, there were some fossils which were in the original handwriting of Matlich, which were not even opened back there. So they were rotting inside, and there was the label, this is the original label which you can see, it is in the hand netting by CM Atlee, 1990. Because some of the collection that time was kept there in the Indian Museum that time under the control of Britishers. So it was very challenging for us to look at these fossils over there and categorize them. Here you can see the same thing we are trying to collect. They are hanging here. You see some bones are hanging here, some bones are hanging there. But we were able to do many of these things and curate them, these things here. Here you can see it's a wonderful stop of Indian Museum Curatorial in India. We brought down many of these. This is humorous of Antarcticasaurus or now Niasiosaurus. But many of the things they are not missing. The thing is they are there, they were there, but we have to replace it back and we were able to find them. And you see this was the collection that is the so-called Intactosaurus subtentionalis, what you are saying described recently. Now it has been revised as a Ginosaurus. Now you see this collection. You see these what you are seeing this collection. These are kept there in the British Museum. What I am trying to show there, it is housed in the British Museum there. I had been in correspondence with British Museum Naturalistic and even for the American Museum. They have not said no to us that they will not, but they say that under the existing and they look at the possibility if they can send this back original specimens to us. But we really don't know. So these are the what we are the things which we are getting, and it is very good when we were going to the archive and we were looking for these fossils in one of these specimens in the record there in 1943 in archives. They said that the original of the fossils of the Intactosaurus they are there in the British Museum, but we sent the plaster cast of this to this some museum in the center. We were not able to know which museum center. But in course of that investigation, we were trying to go. We went even to Calcutta. We went to Banaras. Every places we were trying to search. But ultimately, it was in the Central Museum, Nagpur. What we call it the Ajabghar. There was a big 16 halls were there. And then in this one of the galleries, they were all dumped up. And we were really able to see. This is Jeffrey Wilson. And of course, it is me when we were trying to go through the dusty and things. And we were really able to recover the complete hind limbs of this Intactosaurus subtentionalis now. But we are now trying to see that in case if we can get this original specimen. Am I audible, sir, now?
Yeah.
I'm really very sorry, sir. Suddenly the current has gone and I have to face difficulty. So some of the collections which were described by Matley, that is in this volume that was published as Paleontologic Indian in 1933. It has got all the knowledge about the Indian dinosaurs, late Cretaceous dinosaurs. There is a long list of dinosaurs which they have listed, sir. It is 16 species of sauropods and theropods over there. I have tried to mention some of the main important here, sir. Indosaurus, Indosuchus, Levisuchus, Compsognathus, Jabalpuria, Limitasaurus, and then of course we have some four sauropod species over here. But many of these species they are not valid now and they have been revised now. And these are the only valid species. Among these sauropods, we have only Ayasa Korboti, that is from Dongargaon, and there we have Ginosaurus from Jabalpur, and then we have some theropods, we have the Indosuchus, Indosaurus, and of course Rajasaurus and Rhinoceros from Gujarat. And then we have two very small sized dinosaurs. Small size when we say it, they are less than 5 meters. And this we know saurid dinosaur, which I and Jeff described very recently here. So these are the only valid. And then other than what I told you about the Cretaceous, sir, from the Gondwana dinosaurs, they are mostly coming from the a very classic work by Indian Statistical Institute of Calcutta. You can see this Triassic Jurassic dinosaur. It's a जिस map it those with GSI. This is Barapasaurus tagori, Pamela Robinson, Raichis, SLJ, Kutti. They are the one where you can see a completely reconstruction of the Barapasaurus tagori here, but that too is less than, if not than 60% of the skeletal remains here. But I think that too is the missing skull, and if I'm not wrong, it is I think it's a volcanodon skull that has been stored over here. So till date in Calcutta, we have only Jurassic, which is reconstructed skeleton, which is coming from this Pranita Godavari Valley. That was in 1959-62. And this has been constructed from the at least 6 individual and 300 bones. But missing skull, that I said that it is volcanodont skull now. So this is the only information, but the best described specimens from India, the dinosaurs though coming from the Gondwana. And it is another, that is Kotasaurus by Geological Survey of India, Yadgiri sir, yeah, from Geological Survey of India. And this particular skeleton also coming from the early to middle Jurassic. It was also constructed from the 12 individuals of the same size here. You can see here. It's a beautiful that this present it is in Villa Science Museum in Hyderabad. So to date we have only two reconstructed mounted skeletons. One is in Barapasaurus in the ISI Calcutta, and one is there in Villa Science Museum by GSI, and that is Kotasaurus. And this is the oldest dinosaur which is reported by Shankar Chatterjee in all Indian Institute, Avakia malarensis. So to date these are the only two from the Gondwana. Other than the Jabalpur, we have from Indian Statistical Institute some very good dinosaur that was earlier Titanosaurus colgoti described by Saswati Bandyopadhyay. I say giant palm limita formation of Dongargaon area, that is not Dongargaon basins in Chandrapur district, Maharashtra in 1970. Now it has been described, revised to ISRS colgoti. You can see here a query map here, and then you have some bones here, and then it's artist impressions of that. So it's a one of the very good discovery by Indian Statistical Institute here. And this is very thing when we do geological therapy, and we were able to find this Rayul. This is the Rayul famous Balasino, one of the best site in India, where you get both the dinosaur skeletal remains and dinosaur eggs nest and nest sites of both theropods and sauropods. It is single local. This is unique. Nowhere in the world you get it. And other than the singularity, in the vicinity, there, as I told you, there are dozens of sites, mostly dinosaur nest site. And as I told you, 10,000, 15,000 eggs and then skeleton remains. And see, continue, we have all the limited formations, and then we have the Deccan traps here. And these Deccan traps, you can see them physically continue some of the limited formations where full of bones. And then you continue to the east to the Bag Valleys, the famous sites now for the dinosaur egg. But you see, they are all the Deccan taps of Bala group of rock. When you continue to use, these are also the Bala group, but the thickness of the tap very much thins out here. But here the problem is there when you look at the Kheda, Gujarat here, the entire area is abundantly with dinosaurs, skeletal remains of sauropods and theropods and their nest sites. In India, you get nest sites of sauropods in this area, nowhere else in India. But as you go move from here to Jalo to the Gav, you have only eggs and eggs. So we have a bug very good in that area, but we do not have skeletons. Hardly a few scales bow in the limit of formation. So to work out. Though we have got many skeletons, why the bug we have only eggs. But here, whatever you get, they are eggs here. Here. So it's a wonderful continuity from here to here. That is almost over a distance of 350 kilometers. Now, this was the when the GSI came in 1981, Golden Age and Dinosaur Research in India. It was in 1981. Geological Survey of India discovered numerous skeletal remains, eggs, nests, and nest sites of both abyssal theropods and dinosaurs. अरे इसको लगा के शुरू है it is okay now. So this is a very so this is the Trioli when Geological Survey of India. They found a Trioli in 1981, one of the unique localities in the world that into both graveyards and the hatcheries of Titanosaur, Evolutionary dinosaur. in a single locality, and now it attached with the state of Downfield Museum. And you can see here the outcrops of the limit of formation continuously staying forward 35 kilometers, and the number of these nest sites and skeletal sites over here. And that is the section here where you get the Godra granites over here. Then you are limit of formation with conglomerate, the sandstones and the calcareous sandstones over here. The thickness at this particular section, it may not be more than 8-9 meters, where I am trying to show you. Jabalpur, you get the maximum thickness. There, this thickness goes up to 30 centimeters. And here you can see in the section here, you get how these bones are there. And internally, the eggs are coming only in the fine grained sandstone or calcareous sandstones over here. So this is the Rayoli. And this was the area, the first dinosaur. It was found in the year 1981. It was now abundant. It was an ACC abundant query from where we encountered the first dinosaur eggs here. We had absolutely no idea what this spherical body looks like. They are the first dinosaur eggs which I collected from the nest, and this comes from there. But it took almost 1 year for me to prove that they are dinosaur eggs. So this was a wonderful contribution by GSI, and since then we never looked back. Because it subsequently not only many dinosaur nest sites, but many skeletal sites also, which we were able to record from the same locality. Here you can see these are geological survey of India. After the discovery, after that we realized the importance of this unique locality in India, because if you Jabalpur, you don't get now the skeleton image what we were offering 100 years back.
Is the screen
Hello?
visible? Is the screen visible?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it is not visible to me also, actually.
The screen is not visible to us, Dr. Mohabey.
Is it not visible, sir?
No, it
No.
is
Not
not
visible
shared.
to us. Please reshare it.
Yeah.
Is it visible now, sir?
No.
No.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
No.
Yes, now
Is
it's
it
come back.
It is
Yes,
visible,
it
sir,
is.
now?
Yes.
Yes.
So I will go back to little some other slides, sir.
Yeah.
Because as I told you, after Geological Survey of India, they discovered the site at Rayoli in 1981. That was a renaissance, because we got both the skeletal remains and eggs together there, sir, and numerous skeletal remains. So this was that famous Rayoli site where I said the graveyard and hatcheries of both Titanosaurs and Epilosaurus we get in a single locality. And then these are the sections where you get dinosaur bones and dinosaur eggs in that area, sir. And this is the complete, you can see almost over 35 kilometers stay, where you get numerous dinosaur nesting sites and skeletal sites spread over this in this Rayoli Kheda area. And these are the site where you can see that I yielded the first dinosaur eggs in 1981, sir. Though it took almost 2 years for us to identify that they are dinosaurs eggs only. And GSI in 1981, 83, 85, then they took excavation. Is it visible, sir?
Yeah, it
Can
is.
Yes.
It is not. Yeah. I am really very sorry about it, sir, but there is some problem going on this side. So
No, it's
geological
okay.
survey, now it is okay. So now in Geological
Yeah.
Survey of India, in the India 1983 to 85, especially the western year, calling my colleague Suresh Srivastava also, we took an excavation in that area for the though we their nesting behavior, their systematic, but we skeletal remains, we did a very systematic excavation in this area, sir. At least 9 pits were opened there, sir, and it is more than 380x or nearly 400 bones of skeletal remains for different pits they were collected. And this belongs to the mix of both sauropods and titanosaurs, and some of them were semi-articulated. So these are some of the query sections which I am trying to show you, sir. And here it is from such querying by Geological Survey of India or Suresh Srivastava, when we were doing these things, that a Rajasaurus was identified when Paul Cirano, Jeffrey Wilson, and our colleagues from paleontology, they were there. And it is found that Rajasaurus was established based on the bones picked up from some of these queries over here. But you will wonder that even the description of Rajasaurus, it's not a complete skeleton. The entire description is based on the 30 not more than 35 or 36 bones, sir, and that too with the skulls. We really don't know how the Rajasaurus really looked like, because here we don't know the complete skulls. We have some brain case, we have some other tail vertebra, we have some sacral vertebra there, but we do not have any mandible, or we do not have any jaws or anything like that. But till today, it is the best described theropod, ability theropod from Cretaceous of India, other than Indosuchus or Indosaurus from Jabalpur. Here you can see on based on which our Rajas were. Hello, sir.
Yeah,
So these are the
go
only
ahead.
based on you can identify this. And of course, this snake and other things I will be speaking later, sir. I told you about the Rajasaurus, but hello.
Yes, please continue.
So it is other than the Rajasaurus, Indian Statistical Institute of at Calcutta, they also tried to do some excavations in 1995, and then they also put with one other theropod, that is Rhyolus, in 2010, and then you can see some of these bones which are there. So till date from Rayoli or Kedah district, we have two theropods. One is Rajasaurus and one is Rhyolisaurus. In 1981, when we discovered things, people they really did not know what the dinosaurs is all about. And the importance, we went to the place, we went there because we were trying to find the dinosaur expo, we were hunting for dinosaur, and then we were getting way back because at that time your Jurassic Park, it was released only in the 1993 only. So no one really knew what about the dinosaur. So that time it is you see the photograph. Dr. Ram Ramakrishnan is there. In 1982, we had a one because that time not much TV media. We have a AIR, and then we had a first interview on the AL India where we tried to describe blood collection. It came in all in the newspaper, Gujarat Samachar and the famous Dharma Yug and the things like that. And that is we were trying to bring it to notice of the common public, but as well as to the government of Gujarat. And we were pursuing them very hard, the importance of this area, and we wanted them that this area should be declared protected. It took a long time, but it was ultimately in 1997 that government of Gujarat, they realized the importance and they declared it as a protected monument under Bombay Police Act, sir. Here you can see some of these things, how it really looked like. So, and he also in 1990, Gandhinagar Geological Survey of India, they also organized a small exhibition there. And it lasted 7 working days over there where all the students sent out. And that time also they realized what the dinosaurs are all about. So it was a very good attempt by GSI, and that time we all our effort to declare this site as protected, it paid us. And it which are the some of these nest, you can see here the nest which are there. What you can see are only the eggshells. How they look, because all these dinosaurs they laid their eggs in the riverine soft sandstone only, and what you are getting, it's only one cutting plane on that where you are able to see this the hemisphere, these spherical outlines, but they can be small or big because depending where that particular dinosaur eggs has been cut, whether on the upper hemisphere or lower hemisphere, because it was a saucer-shaped clutches. Now you can here see. So we get, I'm not going to show you many nests over there. So what I showed you, these are almost spherical ones. They are sauropod 6, herbivores. And of course, within the sauropods also, they were laid by different species of titanosaurs. So we had variation in the eggshell microstructure that we did it. And then this is the eggshells which you are being elliptic one. These are theropod dinosaurs. This is the only site in India that produces it. It is the first time that we got the nest sites of these theropod dinosaurs. Otherwise, in the world all over, they said that these theropod dinosaurs, they lived in isolations. They never lived in groups. But we got a nesting sites that shows that they were living in community. And it is for the first time that Geological Survey of India was able to say that no, even in the late Cretaceous time, our evolutionary dinosaurs, they were living in community and hunting in packs. So it was a very good indication. And then when I say a nesting site, sir, this may be a site, it may be not more than 10 meters by 15 meters, where you get this small one. These are the nests, sir. In the nest size of 10 meters or 15, you are getting number of nests like that, sir. Yeah. Distribution. And then within the nest, you get the distributions of eggs like this in individual nest. But you really don't get any specific pattern of distribution of the eggs inside the nest. Only the thing is that we know they are saucer shaped depression where the eggs are laid there in that. That's what sometimes you are able, but most of the eggs, if you are able to excavate the complete egg, they are uniform inside. Maybe 15 centimeters to 15.5 centimeters or around that only. Even the actual thickness, everything is. So individual nest size, they have definitely different types, morphotypes of eggs and nests in there. And then we are really able to see how the eggs are laid. So we did a big thing, how the eggs were laid, how the nesting behavior, how far these nests were separated, how many animals were involved. You can see some of this disposition of this stuff. That is how we were trying to study this nest and eggs also, sir. This is one of the other site where you can see you can see the nest over here. Sometimes you get a circulate becomes very difficult because you are not able to getting complete X. It is only if you are able to excavate. But the thing is that Geological Survey of India, we never bothered to excavate or bring or collect the nest from there. Some few eggs were in a porous. That's why whatever the discovery and the nest sites were there found by Geological Survey of India 1981 until they are all intact there, sir, and I'm not boasting. Many of these sites are not known to the people because we are know that these are sites are going to be vandalized. We never collected any dinosaur specimens unscrupulously. And still, if you go to those sites, you will able to see the nest with a. Of course, somewhere you will find it. But then there are beautiful sites. Till if you will feel that they are like virgin and untouched sites. And we are again trying to see if we can make effort to protect these sites. And we are interviewing with government of Gujarat, Tourism Corporation of Gujarat. But that is beauty of the GSI. Those things, those nest sites are still preserved in Kheda and Panchmal districts of Gujarat. And you see. So we were trying to interpret how these nests are. You see, if the nest and independent nesting behavior. These are the nests because whatever eggs we are getting, sir, it's not only in Gujarat, sir, Madhya Pradesh. All these nests and eggs, even if you go to Bach, they are invariably laced in the sandstone, sands only, sir. So that time it was a riverine or soft sand only. So they always prefer to go along the river banks and along the soft sand. They dug the nest and then lay their eggs and covered them with the dug out sands over there. So that is uniformity. Because in other time, that time, 83, 84, they was thinking that dinosaurs, sauropods and all, they will be building in nests utilizing plant material. They were building their nest. But in India, we never found not a single nest, sir. They were all saucer shaped invariably within sand and total absence of any vegetable material. And here you can see it. How a female, if she tries to lay the egg, how she will lay the eggs here, you see. Because she has to go by the hind legs, we can see here. And how she will dig, scratch this, and then she will make a depression here, and then she will lay the eggs here, and how in different how it will, and then you can see this egg disposition in the plants, in the sections, and that. So this what we were trying to interpret based on the nest which we are trying to study in the field itself. And these evidences are there because in Bag, many of these nest sites, they are there, but many of the things are lost there. Here, some of these nests which are, it is beautiful, available at Jackson, where it has been tried to be to reconstruct some of these nest over here. So it is a very beautiful, because this nest site gives us a real clue how these dinosaurs were living in community, how they were behaving, how they were, the young ones were coming out, how the eggs were incubated, and things like that. A lot many information that were generated based on the nesting sites. Now, if you're coming to that evidence from dinosaur nest, there is no evidence eggs from any of the Gondwana or Pekin. In India, we get actually dinosaur eggs only in the late Cretaceous sediments. We do not get in the older sediment. It may be evolutionary traits. Earlier times, maybe dinosaurs, they laid only soft shelled eggs and you don't get the real hard shell that were present. That may be one of the criteria. They are exclusively recorded from the terrestrial limita sediment and free from intertaped sediments. And intertaped sediments also you get only fragmentary eggshells. It is only at the one locality last year which we were able to record a complete egg from one of the intertapian in Baitul district. Both sauropods and theropods always laid eggs in communities, a gregarious social behavior. Now, Indian late Cretaceous dinosaur, both sauropods and theropods invariably lay eggs in the nest, buried in soft river and sands along river banks. The eggs were incubated under solar heat under the sun, because the size of the animals is so big that they cannot literally in physical contact with the eggs. The incubation period is speculated, we really don't know. And then, of course, coming to this skeleton and this uh, dinosaur eggs. And in one of the dinosaurs in sites in Gujarat itself, we are able to come out with a very good evidence. India provides unique evidence in the world of a predation of dinosaurs late Cretaceous snakes 67 million years. While hunting for the dinosaur skeletons, we embarked upon in a nest site, in one of the nest, skeletal remains of these, it's a sauropod and a partial snake, and the eggs over there. You can see here. It was very, because it was a mixed up skeletal remains in the nest over there, and it was very difficult because the matrix was also hard. We were not able to prepare. We were not knowing what can be there inside. But then we knew the importance of this. We knew that it is a sauropod hatchling, there is a dinosaur eggs, and there are some other bones which look like a egg, but we really don't know. So Geological Survey of India, realizing the importance, because there was no advanced facility was available in India till date for preparation of such advanced preparation for vertebrate fossils. So that in Geological Survey of India, we took a collaborative program involving University of Michigan, Geoffrey Wilson, and with great difficulty, we were able to remove, because they were not time models, how we can remove fossils from here and take it abroad and things like that. But then Geological Survey of India, realizing in its importance, we were really able to see that specimen goes, because it is to be done or it is not to be done. And then you can see here how beautifully we prepared these specimens in the University Museum. And ultimately, it took, of course, almost 2.5 years. We were able to completely prepare the specimen. We CT scanned the specimen. We prepared the bone. You can see the complete coil of the bone to eggs, the complete hatchling here. You can see here in the bones over here. And then you click, if you look at this, you see here, you can see the complete coil of this bones, and then you can see the lower jaw, the left jaw and the right jaw. You can see, and you can see these at the center, the crust is there. It has coiled around the eggs, and then they were two outside, and when the hatchling of the sauropods, it was there. And it not only one the nest. Subsequently, we found there is a multiple assertions of the snakes, young hatchling, and the dinosaur nest in that particular locality. So that showed that particular time of that these dinosaur, these snakes, they really waited for the young hatchlings to come out so that they can predate on that. And based on this hatchling, we were able to reconstruct this. It costed some around $60,000 to us. But this beautiful specimen under the MIU GSI specifically mentioned it, and we got a life-size model 3-point model, which is currently there in Central Region GS. It's a life cycle model of that, based on the hatchling which I had showed you here. It's a beautiful by Tyler Keller, and it is there. And it is such a small, how a snake like that, it can swallow such a big size hatchling. Here just I am trying to, this is the lizard skull, and this is the macrostomata in the big. So how will they will be able to prey such a big size? In the lizard, if you see the joints of the mandible and the skull. It here. Then you see, and then you see, it can open only to the 45-degree, the gape or the jaw. But you look, if you look at the snake or macrostomata snakes, you see here, that, and then you see the gape. It is almost 75-degree. So it can open, it can a very wide gap, but at the same time, not only that, but even these skull bones which you are saying, they are flexible. They can stage their bones on the skull and inside there. You can see a snake here, a complete crocodile, how it has opened it. And it is there in the Tunica visit. It only in India. The original specimens is there in the Geological Survey of Central Region Nagpur, and I am displaying that these specimens are remote occurrentially GSI S type specimens. And now you will wonder that even the Michigan, now particulars, you can see that is on the permanent display in their museum. Snake versus dinosaur caught in the act. You can see here, and all the information right from discovery to original fossil, they are all displayed over here. That we have been trying to do it in the museum at Rayoli, which is the state of art museum. So this is one of the most prized collection of Geological Survey of India, and the most prized contribution of GSI to the contemporary world of dinosaur research in the world. And then coming to the last part, because I had to include it, and that's why I have slightly extended the slide from some students and paleobotanists. These are the platycopuloid dunks. Because dinosaur dunks were known since 1929, is also reported by Matley. But they were not very sure, because in dung or segments of the dung masses which we are getting, there were no plant tissues which we are getting. So it was very difficult to say whether this dung mass or the segment of whether it belongs to sauropods or some other element. Though coprolite known since 1910 by Matley, the plant-bearing coprolite found a physiological only in 2000. We found plants, though known in 29, only with plants in 2001 only. This is that Pizdura locality where you can see in the limiter 8 clays, and then on the field you said light up dinosaur bones, coprolite, and they are full of turtles, crocodiles, and even the snakes which we have. A big snake, almost of the size of 8 meters, that is the Metsoia Pizdurensis, and we are taken type. It's a very prolific area. Every time in the year when the farmers fill every crop of these bones and fossils, they come out. Here you see how the different types of the dinosaur all these plant tissues inside. It shows that particular dung or dung mass belongs to an animal which was exclusively eating bones or anything inside. And we tried to analyze these things. You can see all the soft tissues. Soft tissue. Dr. Vandana Prasad, BSIP, Dr. Vandana Samant, and we were even able to find paleontological phytoliths of rice that were existed in India. And DNA molecule, it still dates back to, it is 150 million years. So it and continents. So they are, what you are seeing here, different type coprolites which you are seeing it here. All of them, they are not sauropods only. Dinosaur theropod. Some of them they are crocodiles, some of them they are turtles. But inside you can see. You see, when you look at the plant that they were existing that time. They are beautiful. You can see the fruits and the flowers and the things, and that's what you get inside the dinosaur dunks. So they see basically these dinosaur sauropods typically, which were herbivore, they were trying to find the angiosperms and pteridophyte each tissue into. But if you look at this, because why we are getting such a such a good plant tissues, because they are only plant comminuted plant tissues. You are not, don't get them completely grinded because their teeth structure was like that only. They are peg like teeth only. So they, unlike ornithopod dinosaurs, they are the complex battery where they can really crush it. But sauropod dinosaurs, they cannot do it like that. The USA sauropod lacked many complex herbivorous adaptations of contemporaneous ornithish herbivores such as beaks, chicks, kinesis, etc. Sauropods they have very small skulls compared to what get in ornithish and turtle compared to other herbivore dinosaurs. So, but it supported there. So they were only dropping the things and ingesting it. That is how you are getting, you can see the teeth over here. So dinosaurs prepared copying soft tissues of higher plants is their solid diet that induce selected angiosperms, coniferous and pteridophyte. Hard tissue plant tissue not compatible with their jaw mechanism. So cold-blooded reptiles, low metabolism, they did not take a large amount of food. They can sustain even on a small food taken from that. And coming to the last part of the extinction of dinosaur India, the debated whether it's a Deccan volcanism in India or extraterrestrial impact of 6 to 8 kpb. India, Geological Survey of India, we had other many assignments, and after that also we had many department science and technology project, we have MOS project, and even under NSF grant, we had been trying to probe into that. We have seen almost all the, because in India, if you're trying to look at the KTB sections, unlike where you get in other places, continuous section across the Cretaceous to Paleocene or Maastrichtian to Denian, which are mostly marine. India, we do not get them. Most of our sediments, most of our sediments, they are associated with the Deccan type sediment in that cradle the Cretaceous tertiary boundary, but we are not able to physically delineate them. Now these are some of the Cretaceous KTB sites where you are getting here. Around 66.6 million years all over the world. But many of these sections, they are only marine sections based and which KT boundary is defined based on the foraminifer, nanopanseals, or the even some of the paleoniflora at times. But globally, sections containing across KPG boundary was observed in marine sections. In marine sections only globally. In such section, KPG delineated mainly based on appearance and disappearance of planktic foraminifers. Stereotype sections, Egypt, Tunisia, Gubbio, Steven Case and Kerebeka is like, they are all marine sections. Beautiful sections where you get even the classic iridium boundary and all those things, but they are all geochemical boundary. Industrial section continuing across KPG are there. Either they are Williston Basin, Dakota and Montana in North America, or you get them in India, but not continuous. You know that. You get them associated with the Deccan type sediment, which they are right from 67 to 62 million in composes. And you get multiple intertapian, but we are not able to physically delineate one. Now, Deccan volcanic sequence 69 to 62 erupted across KPG presence of multiple intertapian beds, but KP boundary is still eligible. But if you look at the sections there, because I was fortunate even to go earlier in Dakota section when I was deputed by Geological Survey of India long back before the NSF project. I happened to visit Dakota, and this is Joseph Hartman, and then we visit many of the sections. So KPBG boundary you can see here. It is the 14 formation which is Paleocene, and we have a Hill Creek formation which is the mastic teenage, and KT boundary it can be anywhere over here. Here you see, but here also the dinosaurs they don't reach up to the KT boundary. In the sections where they occur, it is 20 meters, 30 meters below the KT. This is that is Ceratops over here. Here you can again see the serotonin. This is a very recent 2023 June, and this was long back in 2008 when visited. So there is a KTB terrestrial section in Williston Basin. But then if you look at this KPG boundary in the Hillcrest, Montana, KP boundary is not a paleontological boundary. They define their the KP boundary a geochemical boundary based on the presence of iridium layer in the multiple lignitic bands. Here you can see, as I tell you, photonian formation and Hillcrest formation, and you get number of lignite bands, somewhere up to 6 to 7 lignite bands. And some band which they designate as a jet band, you get a iridium layer. That is the KP boundary. But that KPBG boundary, it doesn't commensurate well with your paleontological boundary. Do you get the fun spike slightly below and above that? So this Montana or Williston Basin, you have a KPBG boundary, but that is, to my opinion, where at least I got, it is defined by the extraterrestrial KPBG boundary only. It is a classic section over here. In India, we try to do because we were they can trust provinces. We are trying to go to the all the provinces, whether in all the multiple groups, whether it's Amarkanta group of props, Sayadri group of props, or even Satpura group of props. We visited all the dinosaur period section, Lemeta, Zesha, Sidu, Jabalpur, and then Dungargaon and the Pisdua, Kolduda. Then we have classic Intertapian, Ranipover and Anjar sections and Takli. And then of course Malwas, which we had been investigating now. And then we found in 2013 itself, I and Dr. Bandana Samant, we came visited all the section based on the, I was trying to work on the reptiles and she was trying to look at the paleontology. Based on that, we found that all these different sites and source in different areas, they are different. Because some of these the Intertapian flows, they were dominated by Paleocean valleys. Somewhere they were dominated by lower Mastictian or 89. So everywhere the story in the geographically separated sub-provinces or area were different. And then we tried to allow, I have also worked with Hansen, we were trying to do a lot of time series analysis, carbon isotope. But what we found here, dinosaurs appear somewhere here around here you can the first dinosaur around 66 million years. In India in the Cretaceous, there is no record of that below that. In C30 normal, they appear in the Mastictian. And the last dinosaur, if you trace here, that comes up to here. This is the last level of appearance of dinosaurs in India. They never reach to the Cretaceous tertiary boundary. That is now 66.02 million years if you go by spread. So our dinosaurs disappear at least 350,000 years before reaching to the KTB. That is means it has nothing to do with the bolide impact at Chicxulub there, which coincides with the KTB there. Of course, that itself is a controversial date of the tsunami and the iridium. But here in 2013 papers and also that we know that our dinosaurs Cretaceous, then they appear here 66 and they disappear here at least 350,000 years before the Cretaceous. So it has nothing to do. It may not have anything to do with global impact, but it is more related to the Deccan volcanism, because our paleonoflora also drastically changes with the way advent of the first flows locally in the different provinces. So we have different sites and source of the Deccan type eruption. Their timing is different. They arrive different time, and as they arrive, they affected the dinosaur and the plant differently. Somewhere when they appear where the limita was depositing, they covered all the limitas. They start frozen. We start getting intertapias in C30 normals itself. But in the other area where the flows never reached, the limita continues even within the C29 normals. And then afterwards the flow can. So they were all the time limitas and Deccan intertapians. They were all time transgressive. But this is the gist which I can tell you. It's not only the dinosaurs. We have also tried to, my colleague, young researcher Anup Dhoble, under the national sun, we are trying to also work out on the other vertebrates, because dinosaurs is not the only there. We are getting very great crocodiles, Samosuchus. We are getting Kurmademis turtles, where we are getting snakes, big snakes there, and very associated skeleton. It's actually not only Senaja, Pisurensis, and all that. And it's not a one or two vertebrae. We are getting articulated dozens of vertebrae with that. So based on that, we are trying to see how our not only dinosaurs but contemporary vertebrates it responded to Deccan volcanism close to the Cretaceous Tertiary boundary. But so far, the evidences suggest that our Indian dinosaurs it may not be anything, or it may not be linked to the global impact. Though global impact might have affected the rate of volcanic erection later times. Whether the tempo might have increased, they are also said by Paul Rene or Sprinting and others. So here I have very category. Indian dinosaur could never reach the Cretaceous Paleogene boundary and were terminated at least 350 km before Cretaceous Paleogene boundary in C29 or Mastictia. The extinction of indigenous indicated to be driven by Deccan volcanism and environment may be related to extraterrestrial time. It is speculated that extraterrestrial could have influenced the style and the magma plumbing system of the Deccan eruptions, but we really don't know. Now we realizing importance. It's a in India. This is the only geological survey hearts of the government of Gujarat, Tourism Corporation of Gujarat. Very good field museum along with the dinosaur park has come there, where you can literally see the dinosaur skeleton. Nowhere in India you will able to see any of the dinosaur skeleton remains. You will not able to see both the skeletal remains and next together. But it is the unique site not in India but also in the world. You can see this state of art museum has come up. It has been come in two phases. One in 2019, phase one that added to the photo galleries. Phase two, 2022. We are in a motive. Everything is there. It's a state of art. Now we are almost over 22, 21 galleries over there. This is Vijay Rupani, Chief Minister at that time when we inaugurated the gathering. And everywhere, there are a lot of visitors. And it is taking efforts. We have thousands of research every day, and they are generating so much of resources that now they are able to take care of their museum itself. So that is the beauty of this. So phase one also inaugurated phase one, and then it is how they are going very strongly with that. It's not only the playful model of dinosaur. We insisted to install the skeletal model reconstruction so that when the students come, they literally know how we are able to reconstruct and bring the dinosaurs to the life. How the skeletals are there, we put muscles on that, we put flesh on that, and we try to bring the life to that. So it's a good some sort of an edutainment both for the children, school children, and it is both in local Gujarati, Hindi, and English as well. And it is our latest, that is 2024. We are having a National Science Foundation grant, and we are working in Open University jointly with University of Washington, Greg Wilson, and the University of Michigan, Jeffrey Wilson. We have Tom Tobey from Texas University, and we are able to get very good sites, new sites in the Dindori and Mandla districts. You can see here, we are trying to do the excavate. We have some problem arranging for the permissions. And it's one of the very potential sites which you are able to see here. But still we are trying to, and still we are struggling with that. And last, thank you very much, sir. My big thank to Geological Survey of India, Dr. Shailesh Naik, the Institute of Advanced Studies, Bangalore, Dr. Eva Prasadi Saab, for inviting me to deliver this talk. Jeffrey Wilson, Gregory Wilson, Bandana Saman, Tanup Doble, Abhilash Sen, who are my teammates here, all participants for patient hearing. And it has been my great pleasure to share whatever I gathered working on dinosaurs, which given an opportunity by Geological Survey of India for almost over 30 years. And then I am continuing after I retired. Till today, I am with the different projects. And thank you very much, sir. And I am really very sorry I slightly exceeded the time because there was some trouble with the current and all thing. And I dedicate this to Professor S. Jensen, who was my very long time collaborator since 1994. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Mohabey. You have taken us to a new world altogether, the dinosaur world. Very was introducing you, I was supposed to speak more about you, but then I knew the topic you have chosen is much longer. So I did not, I made it very brief. Anyway, it was a very interesting lecture. And I think it is a fitting tribute to Krishnanunni Sahib
Hello.
on his birthday today. And we are very happy and thank you very much for the excellent talk. My only wish is this type of talks should be more towards more to the research scholars and students, so that the research activity increases in the country as such. That's
Yes,
major
sir.
thing.
Yes, sir.
I think we can have one or two questions, not many, but the entire talk will be available on our website. Video coverage will be available on the website with provisions for people to send their question by email to the speaker and for him to reply. Keeping that facility in mind, I request only one or two questions because of time factor. Anybody interested in questions, please?
Yeah. Can I ask one small question? Dr. Mohabey, thank you very much for very insightful talk. I'm S.K. Vadhavan from Jaipur.
Namaskar, sir.
Great. I remember how we had to really dig deeper into the ministry to get you that international collaboration and all that.
Yeah, Vadavan Sahib, I'm thankful to you for that.
Yeah. So and I'm so happy that such great work could be accomplished by you and your team. Now, my small
you.
query is what next? Are you leaving second level or third level paleontologists in GSI, or is it
Yeah.
going to be a closed chapter?
I'm not very sure about the GSI, sir, but in the university, under the project, under say MLC, DST, or National Science Foundation, we have a research team of students, and some of them they are really picked up very well, sir.
Okay. Yeah, but then I think you being in central
Yeah,
region should
so-
continue to encourage GSI.
So my question,
Please, sir.
my
pleasure.
question is that now you indicated the the incubation period of the eggs to be 60 to 100 days. Now, how did you achieve at that?
No. I
that
said
time?
that it is speculated. It can be 100 days. It can be 164 days. But we really don't know about that. It is based on the study of contemporary reptiles, sir. Say some of the reptiles like crocodiles or turtles, that much time take, and then they try to make based on the paleocrystological studies of these living reptiles and the extinct reptiles, and based on they try to. But that's what it's highly speculative. We really don't know how much time it took for the incubation of the eggs were there.
Okay, so if it is so speculated that way, that's okay.
Yes, sir. It's speculation. Sir. That's what I very categorically mentioned it there, sir.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, sir. Please, sir.
Hello.
Sir, I'm Audita Bhattacharya.
Hello.
Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello.
Shall I continue?
Aditya,
Hello.
can you just wait, Doctor?
Question. Hello.
Raised his
What?
hand
Yes,
earlier.
sir.
Please,
I
it can be
I
after
work
that. Yes.
Kutch, Jurassic of Kutch. So we do not find any dinosaurs in the Pachamchari Katrol Umaya series. Chari is supposed to have the fossil for us. This one I worked that, but I could not find any fossil. Is it
Dinosaurs are
because
reported from
it is
Jurassic of
marine?
Kutch, they are
or-
there. Satyanarayan and all they are reported. Even from Corbett and also they are there. But I said that dinosaur skeletals they are reported, but that much. And as I said, sir, there are no dinosaur eggs reported from the older sediments that are pre-Cretaceous, sir. But that from Corbett, they are there, sir. And even from Rajasthan, Jurassic and all, Jaisalmer, they are there.
Okay, Aditya, you can talk. You can put your question.
Sir, in your talk, while there in the slide, I did not find the West Bengal Asti Hill names. Their dinosaur fossils are found. You
West
have
Bengal.
Asti Hills in
I
Purulia. ASTHI, Asti means bone. They are in that hill, all the bones are scattered. Just 2-3 years back,
I'm
there
really
was a
very sorry, sir, because getting it in West Bengal, Purulia, it's a news to me, sir. I really don't know. Northeast,
sir,
of
you
course, they are
uh,
Shillong and all, but
I
I will
can
try to,
share
if you
some.
can send me some information that I'll be very happy and thankful to you, sir. But this is a new news to me that they are reported dinosaur from West Bengal, Purulia. I don't know
You
what
can,
formation it.
sir, you can search in the net ASTHI, Asti Hills. Okay.
Okay. I will try to do that, sir. Thanks for information.
And you see dinosaur in West Bengal. So there you will get some videos of the sites and the description, of course, in Bengali. You have to see it with some of your Bengali friends who will translate it.
Maybe I
But
can do that, sir. Once I
so
come
you'll
across
get.
that, I will put my efforts. Sir. But thank you for providing me this information.
Okay,
I
sir.
will
Okay,
look for
sir.
such information, sir. And I'm really
Okay, sir.
how I missed it, sir.
Okay, sir.
Thank you so much, sir.
Okay, sir.
I think we'll put an end to this one for today. I propose a hearty vote of thanks to our president, Padma Shri Shailesh Nayak, who has not missed a single lecture so far of all the 11 lectures. Today, at 5 p.m., he had to go out. He had some interviews and other things. He had to go out. He sent me a message. Otherwise, he was there all through. I thank him for participating in spite of his busy schedule. I also thank the family members of Krishnanunni Saab, his sisters, particularly Dakshi and Madhvi. And of course, Nitin was also there, seen in the beginning. So I thank them for joining this today's lecture. Well, I think the attendance today was slightly better than what I expected, but I still expect much more, many more as such. But anyway, thank you very much for all this. Finally, I thank Dr. Mohabey for readily agreeing to give this talk on this at a practically very short notice. He was, I believe he was not keeping well. In spite of it, he has made it and he has taken us to a new world, the dinosaur world. And then within 2-3 days, probably the entire video coverage will be there uploaded in our website. And then people can see this website like all other earlier lectures also. Thank you very much.
Thank you
Thank
very
you,
much,
Mohabey
sir.
sir.
सबको होली का
It's a
शुभकामनाएं.
matter of great honor for me to be invited to deliver this very memorable talk, Krishnanunni 11th lecture, sir. And I'm very delighted to see, I could see Ravindran Saab here, though he came late here. And then, of course, Anupendra Gupta Saab, Khan Saab, and many stalwarts. So, Parthi Saab, it was really a pleasure for me, sir. I'm very thankful to Shailesh Nayak Saab and you all, and especially all the participants for this very patiently listening to me, sir. Madhavan Saab, thank you so much, sir.
Okay.
Right.
Thank you, Mohabey sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Right.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. See you. Goodbye, sir.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, sir.